Hello everybody, this is our group by Bob, Sean, and Andy and Harry. Our project name is About Running. And now, I'm going to show you the topic. We can look at it first. It's an 8x8 two-dimensional chessboard, where the Sean, a boy called Sean, was on the lower left of the chessboard, and the girl on the upper right of the chessboard. So the Sean wants to get to the girl. You don't have to know which way does he choose to get to the girl, but you have to know that he wants to get to the girl and maybe do something unspeakable. But this is an 8x8 chessboard, so he has lots of ways to get to the girl. And now let's see. Look, he can only go vertically up and go right, but he can also go into the middle and go everywhere he wants. But you can't go back. You can't turn back. Which path will he choose? Maybe you can ask him. He's just standing in front of the path. You can ask him which path he wants to choose. So next we are going to the first problem, which are asking us how many paths the Sean has the choices. For this question, we have an equation helping us out. This equation, as you can see, was on the lower part of the animation. It's very long. I will not read it, but you can see it by yourselves. Maybe you ask me what this C represents and what M and M represent. Well, I'll tell you that on this 8x8 dimensional board, Sean needs to go to 16 units of lines to get to the girl. No matter if you go right or no matter if you go up. So this 16 is the shortest way he needs to go to get to the girl. So this 16 is the M. And what about M? What is M representing? M is representing the vertical one and the horizontal one. The vertical line and the horizontal line are 8 and 8 in this question. Maybe you ask me, what is the chessboard is 9 times 8? Then M can be 8 or 9. It's okay, because after we solve the question, we'll find out that whenever M is 9 or 8, the answer will always be the same. So now we already know that N represents 16 and M represents 8. We can just put this equation into calculation. After that, we will find our calculation out. The answer for the first question is 12,870. So Sean has 12,870 ways to get to the girl. So many ways, huh? Sorry, I put the answer out for the next question. So first we look at the next question. So for the second question, we are asked what if the board is n times n. So in the first question, we already know that if the chessboard is 8 times 8, the n representing the vertical ones adding up the horizontal unit, so it's 16, and m representing the vertical one or the horizontal one, which is 8. So in the next question, if the chessboard is n times n, the answer is really simple. We can just calculate out that the answer is C 2n n, which we put 2n on the lower, and the upper one is only 1n. So we move on to the third question. Yeah, the third question was really easy and really interesting. The third question asks us, what if Sean and the girl were standing on a 3-dimensional 8x8x8 cube, like the ones you already played, like the magic cube, the Rubik's you would like to play? What if the Sean was on the lower left, as you can see on the diagram, and the girl was on the upper right? So how many ways does Sean still get to go to the girl? Remember that Sean can go through the cube. That's thing everybody can do. But Sean can. But he can only go in the positive direction, and he cannot go back. So for this question, we like to extend the surface of the cube. Like we extend the surface of cube from 3-dimensional to 2-dimensional, like this diagram you already see. And we can see that in the red circle, on the lower right one was Sean, and the 3-1 upper was the girl standing. Because you can see on the right of the diagram, the girl has 3 surfaces to go to when Sean was claiming for her. Yeah. So you can see that Sean has 3 ways to go to the girl in this surface. And this is the first way, the second way, and the third way. But since the question is asking us how many ways the Sean has to get to the girl, we can simply calculate it one by one, and we can see one of the paths he needs to go to first, like the gray one you see on the right one. On the right, you can see that on this path, the Sean still has to go to a chessboard like 8 times 8. If you just do it yourself, like counting the unit of the horizontal one and the vertical one, and you can then find out that it's easy. So we can see on the for the gray one, we can just look at the gray one. It's really easy. We can see that if Sean wants to get to the girl, he has to go through a large square of the area, and this area has horizontal units of 16 units and a vertical of 8 units. So it's easy. We can just put it into the first equation we found out in the problem 1, and that is C24/8 for this question. And since there are 3 paths that Sean can choose, we can just simply times a 3 in front of the equation we just found out. So it's really easy. If the unit is n times n times n, we can just get the answer of this one. 3c, 3n, n. And that's the answer for the third question. And next, we're going to discuss about the fourth question, which I cannot really afford to discuss it. The question asks us, what if Sean and the girl were standing on a 4-dimensional surface? But since we're living on Earth, and Earth is 3-dimensional, how can we know what 4-dimensional things look like? So we just skip it. Maybe we read the topic wrong, maybe we read the problems wrong, but for now, we just can't solve it. So we just move on to the fifth question. And the last question was quite easy and quite interesting, because here the last question still goes back to the first question where we had an 8 times 8 chessboard, and it's 2-dimensional. Don't worry, it's 2-dimensional. But for this time, there's 4 green dots in the center of the chessboard, in which the Sean cannot touch. He cannot even touch it because there's a glue, and if he touches it, the glue will stick to the Sean, and Sean will never get to the girl. So he can only go past the glue. But since Sean can only go up and go right, so there's a lot of places that he cannot go. After we calculated, we found that these 5 dots representing the way that he cannot go, where the obstacles is. So for now, if Sean wants to get to the girl, he only has 2 ways, which is the vertical one and the horizontal one. After we found out that he can only go up and go right in the vertical and the horizontal position, that is easy. We can use the formula above, which means the total path he can go to, which we solve out in the first question, minus the other path that he cannot go to, which we solve out in this question. Maybe the calculation process is really difficult, so we just put the formula here, and you can just calculate it out by yourself. And the answer at last was 90. Simple. He only has 90 ways to get to the girl when there's 4 green obstacles, sticky glue in there, stopping him from getting the girl. Yeah, and that's our 5 questions for our project. Thanks for watching.